between now and 7:30. We'll give away that $1,000. And the guests are just flying through that studio door, man.
I know.
We got a lot of people scheduled for today. Right now,
feast or famine on this show.
It really is. Right now in studio, we got to say hi to Jerry Springer, the great Jerry Springer.
Yes, Jerry.
Please.
The great Jerry Springer.
Don't get up, please. Everyone just, yes, thank you.
Oh, yeah. And Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs, whatever. What's up, Jerry?
Tough room. Damn.
Mike's going to have self-esteem problems.
Yeah. No, he's been on the show a few times. He's kind of used to it by now. I don't even know why he comes back at this point.
Excellent questions, really.
Last time he was here, Jerry, we dug up some really old audio of Mike Rowe selling crap on late night TV. I'm like, he's never going to come back after
the old shopping network shows, because he has a great voice, as you pointed out. So he would be on there, but he'd have to talk about things like a paper bag,
a cat
that was sold for a cat toy.
Is that always your voice?
A cat sack.
Yeah, a cat sack.
Is that always your voice? You know, if you want a glass of orange juice out of the refrigerator, do you say, "May I please have a glass of orange juice"?
Especially when I want a glass of orange juice. Yeah, in casual conversation, it is what it is. But when you want the orange juice or the iced tea, the lemonade, you need to kind of go for it.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know who gets into more filth in their occupation between the two of you. Because Jerry.
Oh, I would never stand for that. No, that would be wrong, and I'd be opposed to it.
Yeah, well, Jerry, your show,
I'm so sorry,
has gone on for probably longer than is it the longest running show of that genre?
No, it's 17 years now. But,
17 years.
Phil Donahue was 29 years, and Oprah started a few years before me. So I think it's the like.
Yeah, but Phil kind of never took it to the extreme that you do. I think there wasn't.
I take it to the extreme, do
a bit.
Yeah,
and I don't think there was as much competition as there is nowadays as far as TV goes, and then other media.
I think there was a time when it was very competitive, but we're in a niche now, so I don't think anyone really is as stupid as we are, you know.
Yeah. So. Well, that's just it. You really can't tune in another one of these talk shows. They've kind of all tried to bring it a little more highbrow. No. But I like how you stick to your guns. I want white trash. I want impoverished black people that don't know who their parents or kids are or anything, just to come out and duke it out on stage.
Yeah, but also he's got the guy that's missing his lower body. What is that about?
Oh, Kenny, he's a great guy. He really is.
He better be. He better have a personality.
He was on our. Yeah, he does. He was on our show
years ago, right?
Yeah, several years ago, and we had him back once. And you know, he's this great guy, and he has a job now. And he's on every day, and I never comment about the disability or whatever. He's just a guy, and it's interesting because the audience, when they first see Kenny come across the stage, there's a gasp, kind of like, wow, I haven't seen that before, and it's a little uncomfortable. You don't want to be staring or whatever. But honestly, within 5-10 minutes, he's walking around in the he's like he's everybody else, and that's kind of cool. I kind of like that,
and that's why you have him on TV, because he's just like you and I.
Well,
who are you kidding?
He is just like you. He is just like you.
But he's there because he's a fine visual for us at home.
Taller. I'll give you taller.
Who do you think you're talking to?
Yeah.
Some silly morning zoo in Iowa?
Yeah.
I gotta call you out on that.
This is a gentleman with conspicuously shy in the leg department.
No. The show is about things that are really different and outrageous. That's absolutely true. It is.
Right.
But you're not going to watch once you've seen it, you're not going to keep tuning in every day to see him again, because you see. So in the extent that does it really.
After a while, you just get used to him being there.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is he missing? Everything below.
What is he missing? Actually,
everything below his belly button.
I assume I never.
That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
And he comes walking out on the stage on his hands, and he just flies across the stage, and something happened with his show. I'm taking a peek again. I mean, 17 years, you're gonna have some. It's like a roller coaster. You're gonna have some highs and some lows.
I come down the pole to start the show. I was going to come down in Czechoslovakian, but I said no. So I slide down the pole.
Yeah.
To start the show now, because we have a new set. That's exciting. Except I'm 63. I should not be sliding.
No, but you shouldn't.
But you're back up on a high. I know I'm taking a peek more often than I have in recent years, and I don't know why. There's just something different about the show. You brought the fighting back.
You're lonely. It never it never really left. It's what stations would show.
Right, they would edit out.
Oh, really?
So if you were there, the show never changed. It's always... You know.
It was just how
I would hate that.
There
were two people would square off. They'd go for each other, and then the camera would go to the audience, gasping and kind of looking around. And you'd be like, "You're taking us right out of and then Jerry, we'll be back." I like the concerned Jerry face. Is my favorite.
No, that's hemorrhoids.
Is that hemorrhoids? Because I was wondering what that was.
To do with concern.
Like when somebody really gets upset. And somebody's yelling at them, Jerry will stand there and kind of look like, yeah, I'm kind of concerned about that person, and I don't really buy it.
No, the look is, are they really going to run off the stage after me?
Oh, okay. Are you always thinking maybe you'll be a victim of?
That's all I think about.
That's all you think about. Some of these people.
You some can't see it right now, but I'm wearing a very expensive suit.
Yes,
and I think that if that gets, I got to return it after the show.
Must up. It's going to be a problem.
The food fights are the worst because that food goes flying into the audience. Can you imagine? Because it's in Chicago, and it tends to be a little bit of a tourist attraction. In other words, if you're going for a few days to Chicago, and particularly if you have college age kids or whatever, you'll probably say, "Hey,
let's get Jerry."
Yeah, that's what happens. So people come to the show, not all really necessarily. This is all they ever wanted to do in life, but it's a thing to do. And then afterwards they're going to go into different places in Chicago. But a food fight breaks out on the stage, and the food's flying, and they, here's someone wearing their suit because later in the afternoon they're going out to some whatever meeting, and they've got. Oh, it's awful. I don't know why I'm laughing.
You got to think they're.
Of course,
you got to think they're expecting something to happen while they're in that audience, though. What I love about Jerry Springer, you see these horrific things, and then he ends the show with that final thought. Well,
you got to have the final thought. It wraps it all up. It puts it in a context that doesn't make it like an exploitation program.
What was it?
Yeah.
There was one time you said what's the line?
You listen to this. I'm ashamed of you.
No, what was the line? Where you basically said the purpose of the show today, well, let's be honest, there was no purpose.
Yeah.
There was one where he just flat out admitted, look, there was no purpose to this.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, you got me.
He finally admitted it because usually, like Ann said, he tries to wrap it up into some kind of lesson or something.
But you can't every day go on and say, look, I have expenses. I need the money.
I just, this is my job, people.
So if you're not allowed to say that, then what's the next best thing? And I try to think of it's fun.
The audience members really seem to get into wanting to kick ass up on stage also.
That is more of in recent years development. It used to not be the case.
Yeah, now I mean they're lunging toward the stage to rip apart somebody.
There are people that actually work out 2 weeks before they're coming to the show, so they know they'll be in shape.
You lost the security guy is doing his own. Was Wilco?
Steve. Yes, Steve has his own show now.
Do you like his show?
And yes. I mean, I'm one of the producers. In other words, I have some interest in the show.
Sure.
Beyond just that he's a friend. So, I really wish that success. That's kind of scary, though. We're spawning other shows.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wrong. That's wrong at a lot of levels.
A spin-off.
Oh, gosh.
The pitch must be fabulous, right? In the Springer style.
This is God's truth. We're starting to get the kids of some of the original guests.
Oh, really?
So they procreated. They did.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
See?
The next generation. I can't even.
Then
the next generation.
There should be a little surgical room where they can be sterilized before they leave the Springer stage.
Yeah.
Because these people should not be procreating.
You have to put on athletic supporter with radiation in it. Just wear this for an hour and go.
But that would be great. We ought to have a tremendous reunion show. Bring together the kids with their...
Oh, that could be fun.
Yeah.
And show both shows, You have a split screen. You see when their parents were on, and now you see when they're on.
Now, Jerry, you've seen pretty much everything. Was there one moment where you were shocked? What was like the most shocking moment for you where you were like, wow, I can't believe I'm seeing this or hearing this?
The honest answer is I'm not sure anything is really shocking anymore. But even if you're nothing to do with the show, if you're a grown up, honestly, you may be surprised if something happens to someone you know. Mm-hmm. But there's nothing that's going to happen when you say, "Gee, I didn't know that could happen." So
you're right.
I'd be disingenuous to say that. But the story that I didn't get was years ago. This fellow was being stalked by a gay guy, and he cut off his own male organ. thinking that the gay guy would lose interest in him then. So he took garden shears and just cut it off. And he came on the show. And it wasn't made up at all. They saw backstage, plus also the police report, the hospital report. He cut it off so that the gay guy would stop.
Wow.
Why wouldn't you just change your number? Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's easier ways.
It's a big move.
Yeah. That's actually easier than changing a number. Have you dealt with the phone company?
And he was, yeah. Well, I hadn't
Isn't that your next dirty job that you're doing?
Next is the last one.
The guy who has to clean the garden shears.
Yes. You can change your number, or for $19.95.
Call now.
One snip and that's it.
Wow, that's a bit brutal. The fights, there seems to be an abundance of what seem to be obese people going out with very skinny people. That love to punch each other. That seems to be.
You think that's the trend?
A big trend. Yeah. And or maybe attractive lost girls that are going out with guys that when they come on stage, people just lose their mind at how heinous this guy is.
Yeah.
And how he treats her like garbage. And these people call the show and want to be on. Do you search them out?
Called. Just fess up.
Well,
we're all friends here. Let's just because
there was the time in the tree fort.
How'd that squirrel get in here?
Well, the show's always the same, but
you'd never have like a week where you go, wow, we're kind of short on calls about this, that, or the other. Constant parade of people that want to expose their
thousands of calls,
their dirty laundry.
Yeah. I mean, we never have meetings where we sit around and say, what subject should we do next? It's just, we have these battery of phones there where people have to sift through which are the true stories, which aren't, or which are not outrageous enough. Because the truth is, even from corporate, we're only allowed to do outrageous. And seriously, if you called up with a nice, warm, uplifting story, we have to send you to another show.
Yes.
We're not allowed to run it. So it's not like, oh, gee, how come you picked the outrageous one today? That's all we're allowed to do.
I love the niche thing where they ask for the phone calls, and it's like, if you're a lesbian daughter of a woman that's married to the man that you fell in love with after he had a sex change operation to become a woman, give us a call at Jerry. Like, wow, isn't that a little niche?
Yeah. But I'll tell you, right after that,
sitting there like, I think
the phone's like,
oh, really?
Crazy.
I'm thinking, wow, maybe 3 people will call for this one.
Yeah.
Maybe.
The phones just light up.
Yeah, and we can. You can pick what state they're going to come from.
Oh yeah. Well,
it's obvious what states you like.
Yeah. Well,
I must say, there must be some line from the south up to Chicago that it must be called the Jerry Springer line.
Southwest has a new shuttle.
It's the Jerry Springer shuttle. It's just fighting on the plane.
If you looked at where all our guests are from, 90% of the people would say your guests are mostly from the South.
Yeah.
The reality is the only common denominator we could ever find, because in sheer number that actually is not true. Maybe rural, but not South. But what is true is the income level. That is it isn't age. It isn't like only kids and no older people. It isn't just the South. It isn't just black or white or whatever. The only common denominator tends to be, except for college kids that may be from wealthy parents, the income level. Below the average income level, that is what tends to be on the show. That's the only thing we found over.
Do they get paid?
17 years. No, because if you got paid, then you'd make up the stories to get the money.
Yeah.
So no, you don't get paid.
So
and
they
you
don't
have to
get
tell
paid.
the truth. That doesn't mean that there haven't been people that
embellish.
Well, they may embellish. The facts have to be true, and I'm sure we've been duped at times, but it's very difficult to do that now. Really, you sit there literally with a lawyer and a camera on you as you're signing and agreeing that everything you say is going to be the truth, and you're told that, and you're told that you're going to be sued if it's not, etc. So
you'll sue them for the $10 that they're earning.
People get out. People leave. People
really
get scared off. Yeah. So
what do you think the motivation is If it's not money, for people to go on your show.
Well, everyone wants a shot at the Supreme Court at some point.
Is that it?
They want this on their resume.
Doesn't that pretty much ruin any chance that you're going to be a politician or sorry, actually the host himself was a politician.
Oh, still am.
Hey, is there any story that you refused to run, like that they brought to you, and you're like, maybe even that was mentioned, and you're like, nah, it's just there's something about that, it's just too exploitive or it's just too uncomfortable.
No, because we're not allowed. That's what it is. If I don't want to have the job, I guess I could quit. But I can't change. I don't own the show. I'm not allowed to say.
No, but was there an idea that was pitched or whatever?
No,
that you just like,
no. But I.
No, Jerry loves this stuff.
Yeah. Plus, I never know what the subject is, so I would never be involved at this level anyway.
Really?
When I go out, I get a card, and on the card are the names of the guests, but that's it. I'm not allowed to know what the subject matter is.
Wow, you don't know the subject matter before the show.
The first question always is, so what's going on? No, and the idea is it's better that way.
You get a natural reaction out of you also.
I'm going to like if you're interviewing me, we didn't go over what you're going to ask me. It's better that way.
Basically, Jerry's admitting that he just calls it in.
Yeah.
He's been doing it for 17 years. He doesn't.
I don't want to know about it.
I don't need to know
Tell me
anything.
when I got to be there.
Just tell me when the camera's on.
And sometimes I get someone else to call. Yeah, because otherwise you got to go to the phone. Oh no, you guys use mobile.
Yeah, show prep. What's that? We understand, Jerry.
Yeah.
Believe me.
We're with you.
Try to phone it in on a daily basis.
Yeah.
It's nice to see we're not the only ones that don't open our producers' emails. I guarantee they send it to him every day. Could you do a little prep? This is who we have on. He's like,
this is true, and no one believes it, but it only came because it came up yesterday on in a discussion. I don't have email, and I've had so many people look at me now that apparently I figured most people did, but I'm meeting no one that doesn't have email. I really don't.
You don't have an email address.
I do not have email.
You're the guy. You're the last.
But I didn't realize. I knew most now.
You're the last guy in America.
I think
right
so.
Here.
You don't need it though, because you're one of the most recognizable names and faces in the country. It's almost like anything you need or whatever. You have accessibility that most of us don't have. I don't know why.
Being recognizable, it's like a messenger from Rome is going to see him.
No, but I'm saying like if you just
a roll of papyrus.
Gotta get
the
one
guy
of those.
needs an email.
Yeah, he does.
There's smoke signals in the sky. Oh, someone's trying to contact Jerry Springer.
The convenience we get out of email, he could get by just picking up the phone, having somebody just get what he needs them to get.
You do have a cell phone.
I have a cell phone, but it
has an antenna, doesn't it? That's one of those pull-out antennas.
Dial-up.
It's a briefcase.
It did until 2 months ago.
Oh, God.
I just got this. But it was funny because when I traded it in or whatever, and the guy says, here, you want me to switch, get whatever you have to the new phone to transfer it? I had nothing in it. It's true.
You just use it as what it is, a phone.
Exactly. I have now on my home phone I have a voicemail, but I don't have any voicemail and I don't have any numbers in it because I figure if I put numbers in it, then if I lose the phone, I'll forget the numbers. This way,
that makes sense, and you're right because I don't even know my home phone number. I don't even know my home phone number.
Yeah.
What's your number? Oh, damn, and I got to pull out my cell phone.
Number 4 on the speed dial, basically.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, that's all we know.
Number 4 on the speed dial. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't even write checks because I might forget the amount. I actually just bring the cash right to the... What's the matter with you?
What's the matter with you?
You're 2007. You're a big star. Get some technology in your life, will you?
You have people with email.
You know something?
Oh, well, the office.
Right.
Well, the office has email.
Yeah.
But honestly, when was the last time you got an email that was good for you? I mean, it's always... Does anyone ever email you or even call you and say, by the way, where do I send the $50,000 to? It's always, you have to do this. It's always an instruction or someone complaining or whatever, or bill you owe or something like this. It's never good news.
Our Buffalo ratings yesterday. That was a good email.
And that came through an email. Yeah.
It would have been... Congratulations on what you did.
Oh, we love it.
Just don't mention Chicago.
I'll go door to door.
If you could run around, maybe start your show going, hey, please listen to Opie and Anthony on WCKJ. That really would help us.
No, it's the final thought of the day.
Yeah, final thought. Please listen to my pals.
This was bad, but think about this.
But it never really, if you think about it, I lie every day because it's never the final thought. because I come back the next day and do another one.
Yeah.
So you think after 17 years, people would say, when it's time for Jerry's final thought, it's not. He's going to do another one tomorrow.
Final thought.
I've been fooled before. You're not going to get me 17 years in a row.
That's a lot of final thoughts. Oh, that's a lot of final thoughts.
You should do a show of final thoughts.
Yeah, well, I figure if, when Judgment Day comes, that's my only shot.
Yeah, is the final look.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm sorry
I did
for
the final
59 minutes, but good Lord.
But
remember when I said take care of yourself and each other?
And each other.
I summed up pretty good.
Yeah. Hey, we got to take a break. Jerry, what are we plugging today?
The show.
Just the show in general? Well, I don't know. Are you doing another dancing show? What do they got you doing on the side?
No, I guess the show 17 years, but I'm doing America's Got Talent again. I'm going to do that.
Oh, that's a good show.
Yeah, and then I do a show in England, and so
you're very, very busy. Yeah,
it's not busy. I'm just lucky.
You were on Dancing with the Stars. Were you on when Heather Mills was on?
No, I was the season before, and thanks to you guys.
Yeah, we kept
By the way, you SOBs, I'm telling you, you go through. You keep saying, "Oh, let's vote for Jerry."
See,
it was you that kept me on.
I'm glad you're bringing this up because we are convinced that we kept you on that show, and people are like, yeah, right, like you guys have that much power, and I were trying to tell these people out there we do have power, and we're going to keep Jerry on as long as we possibly can.
I've mentioned it in interviews.
Oh, you have?
No, really, when I'm on shows and they say, how come you stayed on so long? And I always say two things. One is I think people were just cheering because at the end I was vertical. And the other was that shows like Opie and Anthony kept saying, keep Jerry on. Look at that sucker.
Your legs were like, would you have like horrible. Your kneecaps were given out on you?
Yeah, it was that. Plus...
Yeah, remember Jerry would call us and
you sweat.
Remember Jerry would call us in and just be like begging us, stop already. It was fun the first couple of times, but stop. You should thank the O&A Pest. They're listening right now. You just gave them a lot of power. See, this proves to them that what they do for us does work.
This pestering.
We have a whole network of pests. And they were the ones that were calling crazy.
They're pests.
Like crazy to keep you on that show.
Yeah.
If we wanted to call and just disturb somebody, they'll do it. They'll look into their past. They'll look up addresses.
You have an army of pests.
It is real, and they are the worst.
There's a lot of radio shows. They have they have shows where they call their fans like they have an army or something. It's cute. They hand out stupid shirts and stuff. But these people are for real. If you have someone that did you wrong in your life, Jerry, tell us about it.
They'll look up their background. They'll find dirt on them. They'll post pictures.
Well, that's the peppermints.
Horrible.
The peppermints, which go
very underground.
Very underground.
Our fans are all sodomites.
This is tremendous.
Sodomites.
This is great.
You don't want to mess with the peppermints, Mike Rowe.
No, you're going to get.
They're out there. They're the ones that do all the secret ops.
Our dirty work.
You're going to get a call from the CIA.
The wet work.
Yeah, plumbers.
The O&A wet work.
You got your own plumbers.
We got our plumbers. Clean up some leaks.
All right, we got to take a break. Jerry Springer.
The great Jerry
Springer.
What can we say? The guy's been 17 years doing this, and I see no end in sight. Much to people's chagrin, but of course, if it works, man, it's great.
And you got to check out the show just to see that guy walking around on his hands with half a body.
Well, that's an attention getter, and then you watch the show.
And then what
do you think?
Get entertained. No,
I know we're trying to wrap up, but I just remember something else. You got the scaffolding or something set up around the set, and then you have who's up there? Because here's the problem: we only get to watch it. We can't hear what's going on because we're doing our show at the same time.
You should hear it. It's much better.
But who is up there, and why do you throw tomatoes at him?
Oh, that show you saw, yeah.
But it seemed like I've seen that same scenario a couple times.
Okay. After 17 years, why do you still ask why?
That's about the best answer.
Why did that? Yeah. There's never a purpose in any of it. What we do, you ever see in the audience, we have this literally wooden dummy sitting in the audience, and people will call in and say, "Why is that dummy there?" Right. I say, "Who are you referring to?"
Oh, okay.
But we have a dummy in the audience. We have a pole that has no purpose. We have the second level catwalk. We have people
catwalk. Thank you.
Catwalk. Yeah. There's no, what's the purpose to all of this?
There isn't one, and there doesn't have to be one.
If
you've been on the air for 17 years, you can do whatever the hell you want.
You're like
Jerry.
a modern day P.T. Barnum there, Jerry.
Yep.
You could slide back up the pole.
Yeah, now there's a trick.
All right, we got to take a